We start tonight with a warning to shops and businesses that they'll be prosecuted if they break lockdown rules.
Police forces are warning they will take tougher action against those who do not comply with the coronavirus restrictions in England and Wales. The head of the National Police Chiefs Council said there'll be more officers on patrol to crack down on those who he called dangerous, selfish and totally irresponsible in the face of the current health threat.
The rules are actually very simple and clear. We are meant to stay at home and only leave home for a very, very limited number of reasons.
In England, the Home Office Minister, Kit Malthouse, urged people to report their neighbours to police if they're seen to be breaking the new laws.
There's been a big issue with barbers and nail shops, and I think that's partly because there's a demand. People are conscious of their hair, they're desperate for a haircut, and they're willing to just take the risk.
I just had two options: sit there and starve or carry on working and risk getting a 10k fine. The country has failed us, like the Prime Minister's failed us, because more of us have suffered than been saved. They've literally criminalised the beauty industry. You're not even allowed to make an honest living, and you're just sitting at home watching other people work, and we're not given any support from the government. Some people are. Unfortunately for me, I'd only just started my business just before lockdown started, so yeah, I wasn't entitled to any support. So yeah, I just had two options: sit there and starve or carry on working and risk getting a 10k fine. Everything's on hold when it comes to growing my business. I've absolutely broken lockdown because it's just not fair. Yeah, I've had the police turn up at my house and I've got a caution. The next time I have a run-in with the police, I'll get a 10 grand fine, but I've had to crack on. It gave me anxiety. I did stop working, but at the end of the day, like, I'd end up on the streets anyway. And if you're homeless, you're gonna probably end up committing a crime just to feed yourself. Regardless, like, you just need to be alive. And if the government doesn't want to help us, then it's every man for themselves. I haven't received any support. I've seen that you can apply on your local council for funding, but when I went on there were so many loopholes that you had to jump through, and I wasn't entitled. They were saying you have to have worked for over a year before the pandemic started. So when I trained to be an LTEC, it was just terrible timing that this all started, because then I wasn't entitled to any help. And by then my savings were like really running low, so I literally just had to like carry on working. I didn't really have an other option. Because they're meant to enforce stuff and protect the people. They're not protecting us. They're literally protecting the government and their finances. Like, it just became really stressful because you've got constant outgoings, and with no income, like, what are you supposed to do? And I don't want to just jump on benefits because I don't want to become complacent. Like, I just want to stay hungry and stay passionate.
Well, the impact of the pandemic continues to affect jobs. The latest figures show that the UK unemployment rate has risen to its highest level for more than 3 years.
Airlines, manufacturers, retail. The damage is deep and wide and seems to be getting worse by the day or even by the hour.
But Boris Johnson says that while the risk to jobs is very, very serious, the Treasury has protected the livelihoods of 11 million people.
Il lockdown è stato un disastro per il nostro business. Sono 12 mesi che non posso lavorare. È totalmente un disastro. Sono cuoco, cucino per il mio ristorante e non ho potuto fare il lavoro. È stato veramente un disastro. E certamente, cosa vuoi? Se uno non può lavorare, uno non può guadagnare. Non ho scelta. Cosa vuoi? Io non posso decidere queste cose. Nel mio ristorante ce ne sono 5 famiglie che devono vivere. Se io chiudo il ristorante e non pago nessuno, cosa succede? Sono 5 famiglie senza lavoro, senza soldi. Allora un po' di lavoro ho dovuto fare. E ce ne sono quelli che dicono che devo fare negozio. Ma come posso fare negozio? Come faccio a vendere delicatessen? Io sono cuoco, È un ristorante, non si può totalmente cambiare e pagare tutti quelli che devono lavorare nel ristorante. Allora sì, è bruttissimo. E abbiamo questo furlough e va bene, un po' di supporto l'abbiamo avuto, meglio di niente, però non è abbastanza. E allora sì, il governo ci ha dato un po' di supporto, ma non è sufficiente. Per dire la verità, abbiamo fatto alcune cose che non si dovrebbe fare, per modo di dire. Però alcuni clienti che vengono, però sai, solo i clienti in cui abbiamo tanto fiducia, alcuni anche poliziotti. Allora, sai, anche loro vogliono uscire a mangiare, mangiare anche, sai, così, qualcosa speciale, un compleanno. Allora anche i poliziotti sono artista, sono creativo. Questa è la mia vita. Io non voglio lavorare, cosa faccio io? Non c'è un altro lavoro che posso fare. E poi chi lavora nel mio ristorante, loro non possono fare altri lavori. Allora bisogna continuare, non ci abbiamo scelta. È la vita dell'artista, è una necessità, capisci?
We're all in this together, or are we?
If anything, COVID should highlight to us that we actually live in a very unequal world, and some people are going to be disproportionately affected by it. As nice as it is to say we're all in this together, I don't think the reality reflects that.